Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Apologetically Me. I'm Maggie.
I'm Wanda.
And we're about to get spoopy around here. It's Halloween. It's the podcast's first ever Halloween. Are you excited, Wanda?
Not really. Halloween's like my least favorite holiday of all the holidays. It's not even a holiday.
Well, it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think Halloween should be the last Saturday of every October, but
I agree with
it
that.
can't be. So,
Well, I mean, I really liked having it on a weekday because, like, teachers would give out candy.
yeah, but also, didn't it kind of like suck if you went trick or treating and then you're like all happy and you're up all late and then you have school the next day and it
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
that
like
part
kind of
sucks.
ruined. Yeah, and then it's like November and it's like, oh, sad, dreary, depressing winter.
Maybe like a Friday night. Wait, no, because I would always work Friday nights. Okay, so if it was like Thursday nights, like in terms of like if the world run on Maggie time, it would be Thursday night and then Friday would be a PA day.
Main character energy.
I said if we ran on Maggie time, but we don't, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of Halloween.
Okay, save it for the podcast. Before we get into it, Wanda, tell the people what you got going on.
Hey, I cannot remember what my update is this week, so I'm gonna swing it back to you. What do you have going on this week?
Well, it's kind of a beef more than an update. I'm actually kind of mad at my coworkers, and I hope they're not watching this. But if you are, JK, all behind us now. So, anyways, one of my coworkers is going on maternity leave. She is expecting her first baby, which is great, and we're planning a surprise baby shower for her, like a virtual one. So, like, we get our immediate team into a group chat, minus her. And then my manager is like, hey, let's start inviting more people to this. Let's invite our entire department to this baby shower. And I'm kind of like, that's a lot of people for a baby shower. Like, a lot of attention on you. I like more intimate things, but whatever. So, her last day is coming up literally in a week. And I have heard nothing from this baby shower group. So, I messaged one of my coworkers, coworker number 2, I will say. Coworker number 2 is pretty close to coworker number 1, who is going on maternity leave. And I said, coworker number 2, hey, like, have we done anything? Like, should I get like an e-card going and like we can all sign it kind of thing? Like, I know you're designing it. I can help you like get the messages and signatures. And coworker number 2 was like, yeah, that's great. Like, send it out to the group. And I said, okay, I'll do it. So I sent it out and no response. And my manager is like, hey, Maggie, like, we kind of already have a plan going. Check in with coworker number 3. And I was like, what? So I messaged coworker number 3 and I was like, oh, hey, sorry. I didn't realize like we had stuff going. Like no one told me anything. And coworker number 3 was like, yeah, I talked about this with coworker number 2. Like we kind of already have a plan going on. And I was like, wait, what? And then I said, but I was just talking to coworker number 2 and I asked about it and she didn't say anything. So that's why I did that. And coworker number 3 was like, oh, that must have been like a miscommunication then. And I was like, yeah, what the hell? So then I went back to coworker number 2 and I was like, and I decided to go like the passive aggressive route. And I was like, hey, sorry, never mind, I guess. Like, it looks like you already have stuff with coworker number 3 going on. Sorry, I didn't know about it. And then they were like, oh, yeah, sorry, I'm just like overwhelmed with work. Like, you can help if you want to. And I was like, what? Now I don't want to. Fuck you guys. JK. Like, not fuck you guys if anyone out there is listening. But, well, now I'm like, I'm embarrassed. You just embarrassed me in front of my whole team. When I die, I'm gonna haunt you so freaking hard. Someone better kill me so I can haunt you. Good thing it's like Halloween.
Yeah, very fitting for the Halloween theme.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm not gonna
That
actually die because like I can just send them passive aggressive messages, but you know.
Oh, I don't know. There's so many complicated like maybe playing devil's advocate, coworker 2 was literally like just so swamped that like they couldn't even process what you were saying. So they just kind of gave you like a hasty reply in a way that uh they didn't think about it maybe until later where they're like, "Oh shoot, I messed up." I don't know. I'm
They could have apologized to
like
me. They're like, oh, whoops, sorry, Maggie. I forgot about that.
yeah, which is like fair, but also they could have just redirected you to like coworker number 3.
Exactly.
Was this your idea in the first place? I forget.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I just decided to do something because I was like, hey, she's gone next week. We haven't done anything, and I kind of wanted to like send something nice to her.
Okay, so it's not even like your thing that they kind of took over. So,
Yeah, it was
you know
more like
what?
me steamrolling.
Yeah, just leave it.
Yeah,
Just let it like let it happen. If nothing happens, then you can just do your own little um hey, congrats on the baby
yeah. I
kind of
learned
thing.
my lesson. This is a lesson to everyone. Don't do anything for coworkers.
Um yeah, but also just don't like just don't get involved in like social events or planning social events because it is the worst.
Yeah, it does kind of suck for work. You know, like, remember when virtual happy hours were a thing everywhere? I hated those so much I never went to them. And we still have team socials here and there, and I still don't like going to them.
It's like in person, maybe you'll go, but like when it's online, it's like this nothing, I don't know. Like why can't like I don't need these interactions really. And it's like more of a I have better things to do with my time than sit in a Zoom call or a Teams
Yeah.
call.
You know how, like, when we were first filming the podcast, we would always talk over each other, or like I would talk over you more like that is like multiplied by 20 when I'm in like a team setting. Not me talking over other people, but I feel like I can never really get my word in with other people. And then I found out it's because when other people are talking at once, like the volume like gets kind of weird, so you can't really hear what's going on. So that's why the person just continues talking instead of like if you were in person, you would just kind of stop or you'd be like, "Hey, let me finish," or like you would understand like their cues that they're done talking.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a notable problem of online virtual meetings. It's that there's no physical indicator
Mm-hmm.
from another person whether they are finished their thought, whether they are still going to continue talking. And it's
Anyway,
like,
Wanda, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
so you don't really know when to interject. And like sometimes that means talking over each other, or you have the weird like dance back and forth where it's like, okay, you go. No, you go. No, you go.
Good thing we edit because we do that a lot.
Yes, yes, we do. But we blame it on the internet because it
Yes.
lags, and we're definitely not talking over each other.
Yes. Anyways, what is your update?
I don't remember the original update that I had, which is really disappointing because I really wanted to share it, whatever that thought may be. I hope it's treating you well. Um, what my update will be is like a little bit more yay for me, pat on the back for me. So, when I first started going to the gym, I always had the goal of I want to be able to squat 2 plates and deadlift 2 plates. And then I didn't really have a goal for my bench because benching is hard. Um, but every time I would see someone deadlifting like 2 or more plates, I was like, wow, they're so strong. Especially if it was like someone who was female doing it, I'll be like, wow, she's so impressive. I want to be her one day. I'm happy to say that, well, the start of, I mean, I guess Monday, I deadlifted 2 plates as my working weight,
Oh my
which
god.
means I can now officially deadlift more than 2 plates as my PR,
Ah, that's
and I'm
awesome.
very happy. Yeah,
Yay.
yeah, it was a long time coming, and I feel like more people other than Jordan should hear about my about my accomplishments.
Yay. That's awesome. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of myself too. Now onto my other lifts to try to get them as strong as my deadlift.
Do you have any tips for anyone who is also working towards the same goal?
I think number one thing is like watch all the YouTube videos about what is proper form for deadlifting because I think when I first started lifting, like I only had like Matt and Jordan kind of teach me, but like over time, like what you originally learn kind of gets lost, and especially when you start to do heavier weights, like you don't always consciously think about form, and sometimes your form fails because the weight is too heavy. So I think watching videos on YouTube, Jeff Nippard, which I think I've mentioned him before, really, really helpful, really good, like technique building, like cues that you should keep in mind. Another thing would be bracing. That is the one thing that I didn't learn when I first started lifting. So bracing is like when you suck it, like when you breathe in deeply and then like push it down into your lungs or and like into your like lower stomach as well. So it feels like apparently it's supposed to feel like you're going to like you're pooping. Like that's what it should feel like. When like the motion that you're doing when you're pooping is how like your stomach should be rigid kind of thing. So okay, there's two ways to think about this. One is like it feels like the same movement you're doing when you're pooping, and the second one is like how you would brace your stomach if someone was going to punch you in the stomach. Those are two different ways of thinking about it.
So before you go to the gym, make sure you empty your bowels, guys.
Yeah, like, or you're gonna let out a very risky fart or something a little bit more risky.
For all you scatters out there, save it for the bedroom.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that's probably gonna be one of your top 10 most embarrassing moments if you accidentally shit yourself at the gym.
Side note,
Especially what?
side story, I told my brother about that scatting thing. And then he like stopped me mid-story and he was like, how could anyone not like scatting? It's like the jazz thing, right? Like scatta beep, a scatta boop, like scat scat. I was like, oh no, let me explain to you what this is. And he was like, what? Someone shitting in your mouth? And then he was like, I don't want to hear the rest of the story. You've ruined everything for me. I thought it was like a jazz music thing. Goodbye.
Do you want to maybe tell the first part of that story too?
Which part?
The part where how you originally got introduced to scatting in real life. But like not like that.
This did not happen to me. Wait, like Nick's friend story or
Yeah.
oh. So for some context, my boyfriend Nick, we were hanging out with one of his friends and his friend had brought up scatting. Or I don't really know what happened. I just literally joined their conversation. And he was like, oh yeah, I've tried scatting before. And I had told Nick about this AMA that me and Wanda were talking about on the podcast. And Nick was also recently introduced to scatting, and he was like, what? This happened to you? And the guy was like, yeah, it was like, well, I didn't know that it was about to happen. Like, we were having sex, and then she stopped and then just took a shit in my mouth. And I was like, oh my God. And then what did you do? And he was like, well, it's obvious. Like, my only choice was to swallow. And I was like, that was not your only choice. There was like so many things you could have done there. Why did you do that? But like, the takeaway here was that one, it was unconsensual. Like, please discuss with your partners before you do anything risky. And two, he said it tasted like coffee beans. And then I said, ew, you could have gotten E. coli poisoning. This is weird. And he said, well, I didn't. So that was a lesson to me. Trying something out, I did not enjoy it. I don't think I will ever do it again. But my main concern was that it was not consensual.
Like, you don't mean you tried it and you didn't enjoy it. You mean like the person.
The person. But he didn't know that he was about to try it that day. He didn't wake up that day and think, I want someone to shit in my mouth today. Or like, I'm so turned on, I need someone to shit in my mouth.
Which means the person that he was hooking up with had the thought of, I am going to shit in someone's mouth today. Or, I mean, maybe she didn't think about it. Maybe she or he didn't think about it until they were in the moment. They're like, you know what? This is a great moment for me to shit in their mouth.
Weird vibes.
Yeah. What kind of vibes does your friend give off then? Or Nick's friend gives off?
Weird vibes.
Yeah. So I'm not saying he's asking for it. I like, that's not what I'm trying to say.
But like, maybe that's the vibe they were going for, and he didn't feel like uncomfortable enough to be like, hey man, I did not consent to this. But yeah, usually I feel like if you're gonna try something out, like, you talk to that person. But
maybe paralyzed in the moment. Also, this person had many options, and swallowing was probably the last thing that I would. Ugh, do you have to chew? Okay, never mind.
Chew topic. um, moving on to beef or crush of the week.
Okay, I feel like I need to. Okay, there's multiple parts to this. So I was watching a video. It was like a commercial that Ludwig did back in the day for something.
For
And he,
context, Ludwig is a Twitch streamer.
yes, he's a Twitch streamer, but what was the thing? Okay, so Ludwig has friends that he often like employs and stuff because his goal is to like eventually pay his friends to do the things while doing the things that he likes to do. So he wants to employ his friends, which he kind of does already. So one of his friends that are also his kind of employee is someone named Slime. Slime is one of my crushes this week too, because I think he's the most he's not attractive. Let me just put that out there. He's not the most attractive person in this bunch of Ludwig's friends. If you go listen to The Yard, which is their podcast, you'll see why I think that. But he is the most handy, and he is the one that has the most responsibility, and I think that's very attractive. I think it's cool that he can just Ludwig will tell him to do something and he will learn how to do it. So he had no idea about tax law, but Ludwig was like, "Hey man, I want you to learn about taxes." And he did. And I think that is so cool. Like I wish I could pick up a skill or have the drive to pick up a skill so easily.
I just Googled him and it says that Slime is Ludwig's manager and only friend. Is that a joke?
Yes. Because I mean, there's two others in the podcast and they all live together. So I'm gonna assume they're all friends, and it is not his.
He looks like cute. I definitely wouldn't say he looks like super attractive, but I guess the fact that he's so like handy and will do anything for Ludwig makes him very cute, very submissive, very breedable.
Terrible. Did you say breedable? What?
It's a meme. I swear I don't want to breed with him.
What is the meme?
Oh, to like comment that someone's submissive and breedable.
Oh my god, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's what I think about when I meet someone, their breedability. So anyways, they made a commercial, and in the commercial it was the bomb's going to go off and they were arguing something, and then they had to choose like a red or green wire depending on like if you were for or against the argument or something like that. And then so Ludwig was arguing one side and he ends up being wrong, but then Slime ends up being right and the bomb tells him that it's right, and he even though the bomb is going to explode, he dies happy. And I'm bringing this up because that face is me right now. Okay, I'm not going to be with Falling Dead, but I'm going to show her the face because that's the face right now. I should just post the face on top of me in the video version just so that I get the point across. Okay, so a few weeks ago we were talking about Will Poulter, and we were talking about the fact that how could this man who is not that attractive and be what was the person's name?
Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock. How can Will Poulter, who's not so attractive, be Adam Warlock, who is very attractive and very buff, as per the comics? So a TikTok Maggie sent me a day or two ago is perfect. It explains exactly why my theory of you can't be ugly and have a hot bod at the same time. Because if you look at Will Poulter now, whew, chef's kiss, his jawline, his face, his like, I'm assuming his body looks on point right now, but wow, he is amazingly attractive, and he would capture the part of Adam Warlock perfectly.
Yeah, he's like made in a lab now. Okay, but also to be fair, like if he had the resources and the money to look like that. So if him at his default, you know, like him at his default isn't ugly, but he wasn't who I thought. But I guess to be fair, like Chris Pratt wasn't who I thought to be cast as Peter Quill. So Hollywood magic, baby. That's how it is. That's showbiz. Yeah, he legit looks like a Hemsworth brother. It's insane. Yeah,
And
I saw that and I was like, fuck, Wanda's right. I'm eating my words right now.
because it was like I knew he was attractive, and this has happened a few times. Like if you scroll back through the previous episodes of this podcast, you will see it. You will see multiple times have I said a person's attractive. Maggie's like, you know what? Yeah. And then shortly after, she's like, you know what? Who I have a crush on? This person.
You know what? This has also happened since high school, I think. When you said that you were into Harry Styles, and I was like, I don't see it. And then I was like, whoa, I'm like really into Harry Styles right now.
Hey man, I started wearing white Converse because of Harry Styles. Like that is how much of an impact he has had on my life. My white Converse, I have gone through 4 different pairs of white Converse, but it is honestly one of the most inspiring things of my life. Like, like, do I consider that like a milestone in my life? Liking Harry Styles has permanently dictated my style for eons to come.
Wait, are you wearing it because you want Harry to notice you, or like you're wearing it because Harry is like a fashion icon?
Well, I first started wearing it because I was like, oh my god, he wears white Converse. I'm gonna wear white Converse. Because you know when you're in grade
Regina
10,
George, yeah.
Exactly. So then I was like, at least if we meet, we have something to talk about.
What are those?
But then I started wearing it because I liked the way that it looked with everything, and then I couldn't stop. And Harry's fashion is much different now than it was then. And I'm not gonna copy any of the things that he does now, mostly because I am not impressionable like that. Okay. That was I guess like 2 updates. Is that a crush? Is the crush myself? For
You just
getting
talked about Will Poulter, and now you'd be like, but that was me though.
Yeah, I'm saying okay, so multiple crushes. Me, firstly, for being
Nice.
right.
Self-love.
Yes. 2, Adam Poulter of Will Poulter as Adam Warlock. Hot, super hot, cool, love that. And 3, Slime, Ludwig's friend, who is so handy, and I'm so jealous of all your skills.
Nice.
Okay. And what's your beef or crush of the week?
My crush, it's kind of a double-edged thing. My crush is my gynecologist. I haven't seen her in a couple years. I forgot how much I loved her. She is so great. She's so bubbly. She's also Vietnamese. She is literally my crush. And I went to get a pap smear, TMI. But basically, all women out there above the age of 25, 21?
21.
21.
I mean, 21 is when you're supposed to do it in Ontario.
Yes. My gynecologist said 25 is good too. She said, as long as you're doing it, great. And then I ratted on my family doctor, and I said, he told me I should wait until I'm 30 because he said the chances of me getting cervical cancer were very slim. And I told her that, and she was like, what? Your doctor said that? I'm going to write him a note because he should know better, and this is very important, health. And I said, yeah, you should do that. Thank you very much, because I feel like he does not listen to me at all. And this is why I have a problem with male doctors. But I just love my gynecologist. She's just chef's kiss. Pap smear was not great. I feel like they used this tool from medieval times. I feel like medical science does not care about women's health at all. Why don't they have like an inhaler or something for us to do pap smear? I don't know, like something fun, like not an inhaler. I don't know, what's a cool thing they could do? Like, hey guys, sit on this fun, enjoying massage chair, and then while you're enjoying yourself, we're gonna quickly take a swab, and you won't notice.
Like a pedicure.
I don't know, something more fun and easy. Like, why do we need to do this painful procedure? It's not painful, but it's like, I don't know, it's not like what I would look forward to on my day off.
I mean, at least you don't need to get like a prostate exam.
Yeah, that's where you bend over and cough, right? And they put their hand up your butt.
Yeah, fingers, but yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sucks too.
I think the worst part about a pap smear is the duct. So there's this tool that's supposed to open up your like vaginal opening, and it is like a duck. It looks like this. But then the pressure it puts on you by like opening you up is weird. It's a weird pressure. It's like painful, but like it's not quite painful. Like, and you don't know how to like really uh feel about it. Like it just feels like invasive mostly. And then everything they do, the poking, the prodding, the scraping is like, ooh. Like it just like it feels not quite right. But at least the procedure is fast. My whole thing is like anything that's like cervical related, like I feel like you should be able to numb the cervix. But like a lot of doctors out there still don't believe that the cervix has any nerve endings, but apparently it does. And that's why we feel the pain that we do, even though we're told it doesn't really hurt. You're just gonna feel pressure. It's not just pressure. I mean, don't be scared of getting one. It goes by really quickly.
Yeah. All I remember thinking was, oh, this is uncomfortable. And then they swapped and I was like, oh, this is really uncomfortable. And then it was over. So
Yeah.
that's okay. Ladies, go get your pap smear. Men, go get your prostate checked out. I don't know at what age.
40.
40. What the hell? 40? Okay, whatever. Women, your health comes first. Go get it checked, ladies.
Yeah, I think it's like you can get cervical cancer at like an earlier age. I think you don't necessarily have to wait until you're 21 to get one. Like you can get it when you're 18 or something, but they usually like the doctor or the nurse or someone might tell you like, hey, you can wait a few years before you get one. But if you think you're at risk for cervical cancer, feel free.
SMH at my family doctor.
Yeah, that's weird because I remember I had the opposite problem. I was 15 years old and they were like, "Hey, we want to do a pap smear on you." What? Like what's that? Like sexual education did not prepare me for what a pap smear would be like at 15 years old. And then another nurse came by and was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 what are you doing? She doesn't need one until she's 21." Or like 19 or something like that. They changed it or something. And I was like, oh, thank God, I'm not ready to bare my vagina. Like, because when you're a teenager, when you're 15 years old, you are still very self-conscious about your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, the fact of opening your legs naked to another person is like terrifying and petrifying. And I was like so scarred from going to the doctor after that event.
What was that nurse trying to pull?
Yeah, I don't know. What is the state of our medical education? I mean, I really shouldn't say that because I mean, a lot of nurses won't even get the vaccine. So, yeah.
But alas, let us jump into spoopy season. Halloween is right around the corner. I love Halloween. Wanda does not. Why don't you like Halloween, Wanda? What are your thoughts?
I think it was like growing up, I never got like I was always a witch. Like I was always recycled costumes or stuff like that. And I was like I never got to be any of the cool stuff, you know? Like I never got to be like a fairy or a princess or any of the I don't know, the fun stuff that people were. And like I wasn't that creative, so I couldn't DIY myself anything anyway. So I was a witch for as long as I can remember as a child. And trick-or-treating was like fun. I looked forward to that. But living in Canada, it is so cold every single Halloween, and you can't look cute and be in a jacket at the same time. That was my reasoning as a child. So you'd freeze your butt off, basically, walking around for hours just to like get candy. How is this not slavery?
Because it's voluntary.
Yeah, but was it? Like,
who's forcing you to trick or treat?
Myself.
So do you have any pictures of you in costume?
I don't. Because like we didn't really care all that much about Halloween. There really isn't any costumes where like even in university I don't think I have any that like I'm wearing a costume.
You had a costume? You dressed up in university?
Yeah, to go to parties.
Oh. That wasn't cool.
Oh, well, I mean it was at McMaster, so I don't know why you couldn't or didn't come.
I was sad all the time, so I didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, but you feel good about Halloween?
Yeah, I loved Halloween. I think when I was a child, my earliest costume that I remember was going as Barney. Barney? No. The Hamburglar? Who was it? Yeah. No, wait. I was a Teletubby. I take it back. My very first costume, I was the purple Teletubby. Sorry, my cousin was the Hamburglar and my brother was Barney. I'm mixing us all up because we're Asian and I'm racist apparently in my head. I'll put a picture here.
Oh, I'm
um,
excited.
and then yeah, so I was a Teletubby for a while. I was obsessed with the purple Teletubby. I don't know why. And then I was a princess, and I was a princess for a long time until I became a big kid. So like 11 or 12, where I was like, I want to be a witch now. I'm tired of being a princess. This was my emo phase. Emo phase came out. And yeah, and then I was a witch, and I think I stopped trick-or-treating when I was like grade 9, so like 15-ish. That was my last year trick-or-treating, and I was like, okay, I'm getting a little too old now. And then my mom would send me to work on Halloween nights. And then I would like go with my nephew. But yeah, that's my Halloween adventures. But I still love Halloween. It has a special place in my heart because I love candy.
I do too, but now as an individual who can just buy candy whenever they want, it kind of loses its appeal.
It's free candy. You're saying you're going to say no to free candy.
Is it really free candy if you're working for the candy?
It makes it more rewarding at the end.
You know what I also didn't like about Halloween? The fact that all like if you ever went to like a Spirit Halloween or like any kind of like Halloween store and try to buy costumes and you wanted to buy like a female costume, it would never fit. Because like I was like a bigger kid and like even if I got like a large, it'd be so tiny and like I wouldn't be able to fit into it and then I'd just be like I just spent $70 on something that I can't even wear. And that was always super depressing as a kid. And like you couldn't be any of the fun stuff because you never fit into it.
I forgot about that part. That's a great point. And if you try to go for like an adult costume, you couldn't as a kid because everything was like sexy, sexy witch, sexy adult, or whatever. But the adult costumes were always trying to be sexy. And, you know, when you're like 14, you don't really want to be sexy. You just want to look like a witch, you know? What were your university costumes?
Oh God. I think I only went out the first year in a costume. I think I was a schoolgirl, obviously.
Obviously.
Because like that was what was like kind of in at that period of time, I guess.
I feel like it's still kind of in.
Yeah.
It's like basic, but yeah.
Yeah. Chuggy.
Ugh. Yeah, I think my friend was saying the other day, she was like, the reason I love Halloween is because it's my only excuse to dress up as a slut every year. And I was like, whoa, that's a Mean Girls quote. This is real life.
Yeah, that's kind of why I liked Halloween in university because it was like, oh, I can wear the skimpiest things I own and it'd be okay and it's totally acceptable. But then at the same time, very cold, always in a jacket. Or you walk around without a jacket and you freeze to death.
Yeah.
So not good.
Also, I mean, I'm not your mom, but like be careful this year, you know, COVID and everything. We are all vaccinated, but still people are faking stuff out there. Be careful.
Yeah, I'll just be a doctor who wears a surgical mask.
Wait, that's a great costume. Do you have plans to dress up this year?
I don't have any plans this year because we're at the age where you either go to a Halloween party or you sit at home handing out candy or you do none of the above.
Or you work for your mom.
That too. Or you work. So I guess it's like if I'm going to go to Halloween parties consistently every single year, I'm going to dress up as a different Wanda every single year. Because now there's so many in pop culture that I could be... There's like 3. Magic School Bus, Fairly Odd Parents, and the Scarlet Witch.
Right. Forgot about the Magic School Bus.
Yeah, but if I wear the Magic School Bus Wanda, I'd barely have to dress up. She has black hair, she has like a pink t-shirt, and she has like red overalls or something like that.
What if someone thinks you're Dora?
That's racist.
From that description alone, it sounds like Dora.
Dora does not wear overalls.
Wait,
she doesn't. Okay, sorry, she doesn't wear overalls. She wears a vest, red pants, pink t-shirt, and she has like a bangs and like a short shoulder length hair.
Remove the vest and you got Dora.
Dora wears shorts.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Dora's a slut.
Yeah, she wears shorts. She has orange shorts and yellow socks and white shoes. It'd actually be easier to play Dora.
I will be Boots.
Yeah, I guess it's like you could just put like you could bring a stuffed monkey and then people would kind of get the point.
Yeah.
I'll just bring a school bus.
Nice. Wait, why doesn't Jordan just go as the school bus?
That'd be so funny.
Mm-hmm.
What a ideal couple's costume.
Yeah, I think it'd be really funny.
I think I did like a few weeks ago, maybe like I kind of like jokingly said something. Oh my god. Okay, this is the episode. I can finally say this. There's like a t-shirt thing that was like I am the turkey and he is the stuffing or something like that. Or like
What?
I
No. This doesn't sound right.
It's basically like like those baby announcements. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's like pregnant and it's I'm so stuffed with a little turkey and has like little footprints on it and his t-shirt says I made the stuffing. And I was joking about that being a Halloween costume.
Are you pregnant?
No, I'm not, but I thought it was funny because it's like turkey and stuffing and I thought that was funny.
That's so chuggy.
How is it?
Maybe chuggy's
Anyway.
not right. It's very cringe. I don't love it.
But like it's like if I wear it's like ironic cringe. But then I'm like, what if people actually think I'm pregnant? And then people start talking to me and they're like, why are you drinking? And then I'm like,
You're a bad mom. Maybe don't have kids.
That is a true statement, even when I don't wear that shirt.
Drinking in one hand, eating sushi in the other hand.
Yes. My ideal night. What would you be? What would you be if you were going to Nick's costume / Call of Duty party?
I don't know. I haven't really dressed up in a while. I'd have to be really creative, wouldn't I? I will be a businessman.
That'd be actually super funny.
A businessman? Like go as a Japanese businessman?
I think that'd be really funny, and I don't know why.
I think the idea of it is funny, but then when people see me, they're like, "Oh, so you're just like dressing normal."
Yeah, this is what you go to work in, right? Oh, did you come from an interview?
Yeah. I'll be like, "No, guys, it's me. I'm a Japanese businessman." I will not be going as a Japanese businessman. Just for clarity. I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know. I've seen some like cool costume ideas on TikTok, but I always scroll past them because I'm like, I'm not dressing up. That's stupid.
There's like so many good. I mean, last year you could have been like Tiger King.
Ooh, I think everyone's gonna be Squid Game stuff this year.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Because that was like the most it's the recency effect where it's like the most recent thing that they remember is the thing that sort of like kind of cling on to.
It's gonna be the red hoodie and then the black thing with either a triangle, square, or a circle. Or it's going to be the green tracksuits.
I think that's cool because like Canadian winter again or Canadian fall very cold, so those tracksuits could keep you very warm.
Yes,
without a jacket.
Very basic.
So, like,
I think Nick talked about that. I think he wanted to go as like the Squid Game thing.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna make fun of him if he does.
Have you watched Squid Game yet?
Nope.
Dude, you should watch it.
Maybe I will in reference to before Halloween, so I can make sure I make fun of Nick accordingly.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Did you have any Halloween traditions when you were a kid?
I mean, as a kid, I would always just like go trick or treating and stuff, and like, oh, we'd go to like someone's house or something, and then like we'd like all dress up together and all have fun, and then go trick or treating on their block. But as an adult, my new tradition has been hide in my house with all the lights off and make sure, hopefully, nobody rings the doorbell. They still do. Come on, kids. All my lights are off. It's not even like my front, like just my front door light is off. It's I sit in the most like far from the door room in the house, which is the master bedroom. I turn that light on and I turn every other light in the house off to make it look like no one's home. And yet every single year, without a doubt, I still get people who ring the doorbell.
Don't they I thought they told kids like like for best practice, like don't bring on any house with the lights off because it's like a safety thing.
They do. The universal indication of lights, nobody home, no candy here, is that your lights are off. They're, like your
Oh
front porch
God.
lights are off. And I even go a step further.
My brother was like, he was trick-or-treating and he was stupid and he like rang on a doorbell with like the lights off, and like their front door was kind of open, and all he heard was like screaming, and he was like, I gotta leave. And he was with his friend and they just like kind of left, but they came back and they told me what happened, and I was like, the lights were off and you heard screaming. I hope you did not go in the house. And they were like, we were really tempted to, but we were kind of scared in the moment.
It was a good call. How old were they?
I think they were like 14 maybe.
Okay, so like not like young. They weren't like 8 or 9 years
Yeah.
old, where their safety was in concern.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry to the person who was screaming. Maybe you were being injured or something, but I think on a Halloween night, I'm glad that my brother and his friend immediately left and they were not a victim in a scary movie.
But did you ever have those like houses that you go trick-or-treating to where they have like jump scares, or like
Oh my
they
God.
grab onto you or something, or they like come out of somewhere and you're like, holy crap, I thought this was fake. I thought this like thing was like fake. It was just decoration. There is actually a real person just sitting there and like
Terrifying.
they scare the crap out of you. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
avoid them.
Me too. My friend growing up, his house is always like super decked out, and like you have to go through this super scary place. And his mom was like, "Oh no, just go in. Like there's no jump scare, I swear." And I was like, "No, I'm so sorry. Like I love candy, but not this much. I won't do it. I don't trust you." Yeah, I think it's just white people who love jump scares.
Yeah. There's like white people who really love Halloween too, so
I do love Halloween. It's just like I love it in like a safe, wholesome way.
Spoopy.
Yeah, spoopy time.
What are your traditions?
Obviously, to watch Halloween Town every single year. I am super late though, and I'm really sad about it. Maybe I'll watch it tonight actually. I watch all of Halloween Town. I really recommend it to everyone if you just like magic and shit, which is what I do. And I think like when I was younger, I was only going trick-or-treating with my brother, and then yeah, so I'd go trick-or-treating with my brother, and then we'd kind of do, yeah, we actually like went for a really long time because we were really motivated about extra candy. And then we would sort through our candy and then leave the bad ones we hated out front for the other kids to pick up.
What is bad candy to you?
Oh, like licorice and lollipops and Twizzlers and
I like
plain
Twizzlers.
chips. I hate Twizzlers. If you like licorice, we will not be friends.
I like licorice.
We
I
are
don't
not
like
friends. This is the end of the podcast.
It's so good. It's like chewy candy. I don't know why you don't like licorice. I think it's like any other candy.
Maybe I have to try it again, but it's just like one of those things I don't like. It's like cinnamon hearts. You like cinnamon hearts?
I don't like snack on them, but like if someone offered me one, I might not say no.
Okay, this is how I know we do not vibe. We have different candy tastes.
No, see, that would have been good though, because after you trick or treat, you always trade candy.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I mean, I didn't. My mom would just hide my candy.
Oh yeah, same.
But then I'd always find it, and then she'd always have to move it.
Funny story about that actually. So Jordan's mom has bought Halloween candy 3 times now, and every single time the Halloween candy gets eaten either by like her grandkids or Jordan. And so she has resorted to hiding it in the house now. So it is somewhere unknown in the house because she doesn't want to go out and buy even more candy.
I respect that. Also, it's really funny that it's like children and Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan the other day was like, I should go look for it. Like, you're a functioning adult. You could literally go out to a grocery store and buy a bag of candy. He's like, yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah, something about free candy just like hits different.
Tell Nick that. Tell Nick to make sure to have candy bowls.
That's what I said. I said, I will go to your party. No, I said, oh, I might be busy that night because I'm working. And then I said, will you have candy? And he said, oh, yeah, I'll have candy. I was like, okay, I will come. But we will see. What's important. Yeah, we'll see because he's not really big of a sweets guy. So I have to make sure he gets the right kind of candy there.
Yeah, that's insane because like Jordan has probably the biggest like sweet tooth out of anyone I know.
Also, out of everyone I know, Jordan has a big sweet tooth. It's kind of funny. I think I was telling Nick about it, and I was like, oh yeah, Jordan loves sprinkles. Oh yeah, Jordan loves, like, he got, what is it, like super sweet drinks and stuff, like super sweet things. And Jordan and Nick was like, what? How can anyone like that? I forget what we were talking about. It was something really sweet. And I was like, oh, Jordan loves that.
It's funny because I'd have like a sip of a drink or something. I'm like, oh my God, it's so sweet. And he'll be like, he'll take a sip. And he's like, wow, it's so good. I'm like,
That's funny. Man, I hope he doesn't get diabetes.
yeah, me too. I'm constantly like, how does your foot feel? Does it feel like it's going to fall off soon?
Usually that's not the first telltale sign someone has diabetes. Your foot
What is the
immediately falls off.
That'd be so terrible. Oh my God. Imagine when you wake up and you're like, oh no, my foot is gone.
Not even the toes first, just the entire foot falls off.
Oh.
At least diagnose the poor man first. Yeah, no, I think you'll be able to tell. I think like the very first thing is like you'll see changes in weight now. Like very drastic changes in weight.
Yeah, no, we're good. Okay. I'll keep that in mind and report if anything happens.
Did I tell you about how Hugh, like my older brother, found out he got diabetes?
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay. So it was around the time everyone got really into Pokemon Go, and he started like losing weight because he was playing Pokemon Go so much, and he was like telling me and my younger brother like, hey guys, you guys need to play Pokemon Go. I lost so much weight, like you guys are so fat compared to me. And then he went to the doctors and it found out he had diabetes.
I mean, good for him for like doing such a fit and active like activity, but also that sucks.
It sucks, but like it's kind of funny. Also, he was eating fast food like every single day, so like I don't know what he expected.
Cancellation of every exercising and walking around 10 kilometers every day, but also eating fast food to gain it all back.
Yeah, like his car was just always kind of like full with some sort of fast food or candy or something going on. So like, were we that surprised? And then he was telling my mom, he was like, oh, it's in the genes, that's why I had it. And my mom was like, people, like, you weren't born with it. Like, if you ended up getting it, it's because it's your own fault.
Yeah, you are predispositioned to get it, but like it doesn't like
you can avoid it.
Yeah, as long as you live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, and that only happened when he started playing Pokemon Go.
Going back to the whole candy thing, how do you feel about like Smarties and M&Ms?
I do like M&Ms more, but yeah, I'm okay with them. They're kind of like my low tier candy.
Oh man, we should have done like a tier list of ranking all the best.
We can do that now.
Food. Yeah, but we don't have all the images now.
We'll add them in afterwards. Actually, no, that's like, a lot of work.
No, that's a lot of work. I mean, like, because, like, you know how, like, there's, like, that website where you can do, like, tier lists and stuff? And then, like, you have to upload all, like, the images in of the stuff.
Wait, so what are your favorite candies?
Reese Cups.
Ooh, that's a good one.
But not Reese's Pieces. Gross.
What? I love Reese's Pieces.
No, they're not the same. Reese's Pieces are closer to Smarties than they are to a Reese Cup.
They're so good.
Not good. Reese Cups, Hershey's Cookies and Creams. Always my OG, my original loves. Yeah. And Coffee Crisps.
I wouldn't have thought that for you.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I thought you'd be like Wonder Bar or something, or like Twix.
Ugh. I don't like anything with nougat or caramel.
What? I literally love anything with nougat and caramel.
I don't like it. Like I don't like how it sticks to my teeth, and like it feels bad on my teeth. And it's
okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sweet.
Oh, that's how I feel with like coffee crisps sometimes.
I like coffee. I think as a kid it made me feel older, and then now as an adult I just like them.
I think if I had to choose top 3, Hershey's Cookies and Cream, Mars, and Twix. Those are my top 3 favorite. Ooh, wait, but I really like Reese's though. Anything with peanut butter, I don't like O. Henry's. Wonder Bars.
Oh, I actually do like O. Henry's. Not that much. Not my S tier, but it's definitely higher on my list than other ones.
I really like Wonder Bars, but I think it's because my brothers loved it so much and they always took it first. So then I decided that I liked it too. so that I could get it without them stealing it.
Oh, also on my list, bounties. Um,
I've actually never had a
and
bounty bar.
do you like coconut?
I love coconut.
Then you'll like bounties.
How come I've never had a bounty bar when trick-or-treating? What the hell? Wait, is this what I'm thinking about? Okay, I can imagine what they taste like because like coconut filled things, but I don't think I've had it before.
They're not that popular as
They're not.
Halloween candy, but I've just had bounties in general, and I think they're really good.
Damn. You know what I really like? Scores too.
Same category of
Nougat and caramel.
yeah.
Mostly nougat. I love it. Yeah, anything caramel, nougaty, peanut buttery. Ooh, that's where you got me.
Yeah, I think Jordan's kind of the same way. Like he likes the caramel, he likes the nougat stuff, but I think his preference is still sour candy or candy in general. More of a candy and a chocolate person.
That's fair. I think I'm a more chocolate person than a candy.
Me too. I would die for. I constantly go to checkout lines and just pick up Reese cups now, and it's so terrible.
Oh my god, I started doing that last month, and then I had to stop because I was like, I feel like I'm getting cavities.
Yeah. It's so hard to stop. Like they're so good. Like once you have one, you're like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah. Oh my god, have you had the big ones? Like the really big 3 ones that are like little pieces inside of it? Oh my god. I got that the other day at Freshco.
But they're Reese's Pieces.
I think so.
Yeah, so no.
But they're huge. They're gigantic. They were so good. I ate 3 to myself.
I do like big things.
Nice.
I like when small things are like made into bigger form, and I like when big things are made into smaller form.
Okay. Ooh, you know what I wish they would have? Like little mini versions of Bueno bars. I love
Bueno.
Bueno.
But they're expensive.
They are. Yeah. I got one year and I was like, holy shit, who gave me a Bueno? I wish I could go back. That family must be really rich.
Yeah, who cares about full-size chocolate bars anymore?
Oh my god. Do you remember the full-size chocolate bars? That was so rare. Anyone who did that, like, you're amazing. You are God. You love children. I love you. We should get married one day.
Yeah, it was always like I see a lot of YouTubers being like, when I was a kid, like I always loved the people who gave out full-size chocolate bars, and like I vowed as soon as I was able to as like an adult, I would do it too. Aww. And then they like, because they're YouTubers now and they make quite a bit of money, they're like always handing out like full-size chocolate bars, and I think that's so wholesome, and it's like such a nice way to give back to the community.
I will not be doing that because I am usually not home. And I will probably end up eating those full-size candy bars by myself. The mini ones are good because they kind of make me stop, but also bad because I think 4 little ones add up to 1 whole one.
Yeah, so it feels smaller, but then you have more, and then it just adds up to all the same.
Yeah. So really, I should have gotten the full one then.
Yeah, because then once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
What I never really liked about the whole like trick-or-treating concept as like giving away candy is like, how not fun is it to sit down on the couch and then hear the doorbell ring, get up, go put candy, make small talk, close the door, go back to sitting down, and then immediately get up again to go hand out more candy. Like, how is this anyone's definition of fun?
I think it's fun when you have kids. Because, like, I think I don't know, you just, like seeing, I don't know, because my whole thing is because I've never actually done it before, like, actually hand out candy. We usually have, like, a box we leave at our front door because we're trick-or-treating or I'm working. So, in my head, it's like the family is sitting around for dinner, or they're just, like, casually eating dinner, casually watching TV and stuff, and they don't mind doing that. They enjoy it. But I have also had those rude people where it's like close to 8 o'clock p.m. and they're like, wow, I was just about to go to bed and you rang on my doorbell. And I was like, but your lights were on. Also, it's 8 o'clock.
Where it's like, hey, I was just about to go to bed, so here's the rest of my candy.
Ooh. Yeah, they should have done that.
Yeah. You can't fault kids for being out like after 8. Like I think like maybe like 10, I think is like too late. Like I think if you start like if you're still trick or treating around 10, you should probably like wrap it up. A lot of people are like going to bed soon.
10. I feel like you should wrap it up by like 8, 8:30.
Hey, like some people go out later, right? Like yes, I think standard is that you start going trick or treating right when the sun is about to set. Like that's or like right when the sun sets. That's when you can begin trick or treating.
I think like the little ones usually start around 5:30ish.
Oh, yeah, earlier bedtimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like 10 I think is like the latest that you should be going out and trick or treating and stuff, even if people have their lights on still.
Damn. Yeah, pro tips with Maggie and Wanda. If they have the lights off, don't do it, kids.
Yeah,
Be
I
safe.
feel like you should have learned that in school, but you know.
If you ring on our doorbell and the lights are off, we're gonna jump scare the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
JK.
Okay.
JK.
So we kind of talked about this already, but what do you think is going to be like the in costumes this year other than the Squid Games one?
Okay, for girls, I've seen a lot of Tomb Raider things right now.
Interesting. Like Laura Croft?
Yeah. You see that going around for some reason? What else have I seen? I've seen like curse things on TikTok. Remember that sexy Lorax thing I sent you? That was like really disturbing. I really hope no one goes as that.
Oh, you could go as like Lola Bunny. Like from
Space Jam?
Yeah.
I will not be going as Lola Bunny. That's two costumes.
No, it's not.
I have to dress up as a bunny and then I have to wear a basketball uniform.
And that way you're not just a basketball player and you're not just a bunny, and then next year you could be one or the other.
No thanks. What came out this year? Minions?
The Loki.
Oh yeah.
Loki came out. A lot of Olivia Rodrigo stuff. Like songs. You could dress up as Lil Nas as the devil.
Oh yeah, that could be cool.
Oh, you could do Bratz. I think that's actually like anything. I think this year. Okay, so my prediction for the costume of 2021 is going like it's not one particular costume, but is my prediction is like retro costumes are going to be in. So like Clueless, like the Clueless outfits are going to be in. I think anything that is like Bratz, maybe like Barbie related stuff, anything that kind of like throws back to like late 90s, early 2000s stuff, I think is going to be in this year. As Kim Kardashian's Met Gala outfit, you'd be really warm.
Oh, actually, that's a great outfit.
Yeah, just throw a black sheet on yourself. You're basically a ghost.
Very sexy.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what I would just do if I ran out of time and like I didn't really have anything? You know that like the album cover for Sour? Like how she has like a lot of stickers on her face?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could just do that.
I feel like a lot of people are gonna like couples might go as like MGK and Megan Fox.
I would like to see that. I think I'm gonna see that a lot on TikTok. Or you're gonna show me a lot.
Probably. Like a lot of couple costumes.
Yeah, but I don't know how I feel about that one.
It'd be kind of fun to see.
Yeah, it'd be kind of funny. It's like, what are you, like fake tattoos? Like what type of couple goes as Megan Fox and MGK? Ooh, maybe like the Legally Blonde stuff.
You think that stuff will be famous or popular again?
Yeah, like it's the whole like how the Gen Z say the Y2K stuff. They refer to that era as like Y2K, and like I think that's like I don't know, maybe people are gonna dress up as like boy bands, like Backstreet Boys, and the Spice Girls might be too old.
Oh my!
But I think low-rise pants are gonna make a comeback this Halloween. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's really because like every single year you always see on Instagram there's like one costume that kind of defines that Halloween, right? Like when the first Suicide Squad came out, the Harley Quinn.
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh, maybe like her new outfit from Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah, but it's like harder to sell as an outfit, you know?
think?
Like it's harder to like if you're a Halloween store, you can't just like it's harder to sell that.
Mm.
But yeah, that is definitely one of the things that Google is telling me, that her new Birds of a Prey outfits. Okay, what's your prediction? What's your prediction for the It costume or the It concept of 2021?
Okay, it's gonna be Squid Game. Do you think it's gonna be anything K-pop?
Maybe butter.
Butter?
Like the album or the song? Sorry.
You mean BTS? People are gonna dress up as butter.
Hey man, I already said my concept. Now I'm just spitballing.
I guess. I think people will be going as. Oh, I hope no one dresses up as like. Actually, you can't even dress up as K-pop. Literally, no one would be able to tell because you're just wearing like very eccentric outfits. Okay, top 5 hot girl Halloween costumes. Okay, Fembot, Ariana Grande. Oh yeah. Do you remember when she came out with 34 or 35? That's what it was. The Fembot from there. Laura Croft, Britney Spears schoolgirl thing. That's still very generic. Olivia Rodrigo with the sticker thing. You were right. Yeah, so those seem like to be like the
Fembot thing is like very much like Britney Spears vibes too. It's cute.
I think it was from Austin Powers, no?
Yeah. Cute.
Yeah, I think everyone will mostly be doing that. Okay, wait, there is another one here. Bridgerton, Spice Girls. I don't know why you would go as Spice Girls. Oh, Jennifer's Body apparently is really big right now.
Again,
yeah. TikTok really loves it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Megan Fox is in right now.
Well, I actually haven't seen that movie. Have you?
No, it's a scary movie.
Yeah, I'm kind of too afraid.
Far away from it.
Good call. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's that iconic scene where she holds like the lighter to her lips and she looks very hot.
Oh, yeah. I think Olivia Rodrigo did the same thing.
Yes.
In her music video.
Yes. So it might also be why it's coming back. Olivia Rodrigo. What an icon.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you going to be for Halloween this year?
I don't know yet. I'm going to be Kim Kardashian's Met Gala thing. I think that sounded really funny.
Yeah, I think you should be that too.
Yeah.
And I'll be it too.
Nice. Wait, then we'll just look like Dementors.
Yeah. Honestly, I saw her costume. I was like, holy shit, she looks like a Dementor. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, we'll just be Dementors for Halloween. Easy
Nice.
breezy.
Like
beautiful Dementors. Well, we wish everyone a happy Halloween and a safe Halloween for whatever you decide to do on that weekend, because this podcast is going to come out right before it. We thank you for watching us. We would like you to go follow us on our social medias, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and go watch us on YouTube or listen to our other episodes on wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you tune in next Thursday for another episode of Apologetically Me. Bye.
Bye.